All right, everybody. Hello, how is everybody doing? I'm excited today. So, I am Sonjia Pelton-Sam, also known as the Glam Coach, honey, where I help you G get up, L love yourself, A affirm your belief, and M it is some things that you can make happen right now in your life and in your business with God by your side. And this is Sonjia Pelton-Sam TV and podcast. So, my guest today is none other than TaNitra Robinson, guys. She is totally amazing. I'm going to let her tell you a little bit about herself.
Hello, hello. Thank you for having me. I am TaNitra Robinson, author of the 187 series, which is just simply a book that teaches students how to identify their superpowers. Thank you for having me again, Queen. This is an honor.
Thank you for being on the show. So tell us a little bit like about exactly what that is and how did you get started?
Actually, the 187 series was an inspiration. It is a book. It is a series also. And it's just a book that really helped kids tap into their superpower. So each day is slated on 187 school days, which is where I got the title from. And kids often sit in America's classrooms. They go through the standardized testing. They go through day-to-day instructions. But for me, the inspiration was wanting children to know their superpower. All too often, they get anxiety with standardized tests. They're easily discouraged if they can't acquire a skill, learn it fast, like maybe everybody else in the classroom. And so I was sitting there wondering one day, you know what, if kids truly knew their gifts and their talents, this would combat the low self-esteem. I truly believe it will also cut down on bullying. We will see the rate in bullying decrease because, again, kids are sometimes bored, not really knowing where they are in this whole educational system thing. But for me, it was just wanting kids to know what they're good at, and boost their confidence, their self-esteem, and, soar and be the great learners that we know that they can be.
Yes, yes. So what just exactly inspired you? Sometimes we just go through life and we see something impacts us and it inspires us. So what did that for you?
What inspired me was, I want to say it was many moons ago. I had the pleasure to work with a coach by the name of Will Murphy. And I just got to a point in life where I was like, God, is there all this is to life? Raising kids, going to work, going back to school. There's got to be something more. I just really became bored with the routine, the mundane. It was like, this is not fulfilling enough. And so then I began to go inward and came across a website. I still don't even know to this day how I came across Will's website, but I do know I came across his site. And I remember seeing him at a previous event. He said that he was a coach. He had all these questions on his page. Are you no longer fulfilled? Do you have multiple degrees? And I was able to check the box off on every single one of those things. And I was like, you know what? This guy has something that I need, and maybe he could help me. And so took the trip down to my hometown of Dallas. Would get up every Saturday at 4 a.m. so I could be in Dallas at least by 7, 8 to make my sessions. And just he helped me kind of navigate what it was that I was missing, what it was that I was looking for, seeking, trying to get fulfillment. And I had actually already started writing the 187 series before I linked up with Will, but he definitely was instrumental in pushing me to go ahead and get that done because he said that's where your gifts and your talents lie. You are a natural born writer. And this is what you need to push because you can create this thing literally in 30 days or less. And so July of 2016, the book was published. And it literally took probably 30 days to write the book. It was really a no-brainer for me. And so I'm forever grateful to him for pushing me in that aspect and getting the book done because I too wasn't fulfilled and wanted to know those innate qualities that God has already gifted me with. I just didn't know what they were. And I'm sitting there thinking, well, how many kids may not feel like that to the degree I'm feeling because they're kids and they probably really wouldn't understand it. But I wonder if how these kids would feel if they knew what they were great at and someone took time to point it out to them, tug their coattails and say, hey, you may not be the strongest reader, but you sure are great in math. You have a
Mhm.
numbers. What do you see yourself doing when you grow up? What do you see yourself being great at? What could you do for the rest of your life? So it's me really wanting to send that message to students, to kids.
I love that because I think a lot of times in schools, um, because it is a lot of academics. You know, people love reading, they love writing, they love math, and that's the things they talk about. But as for me, I'm a creative. You know,
Right.
so for some people that would have fell short, and it's when you tap into there and find your God-given gifts and get those pulled out of you, right? If you can find a teacher or educator or even a parent that can go say, hey, this is your gift, and let
Absolutely.
you hone in on that and become who you really are to the fullness of who you are, and let you really examine and work that thing out, then your gifts can make room for you. So I love that, TaNitra. I really do, because for people like me, that is like so important. I
That is.
love Honey, that you went out and wrote a book. I try to tell people it's something in a book. It's something in a workbook. It's something in a journal. It's something in having that
Right.
thing or those couple of things or products for yourself, right? And then having a business and teaching other people all those years of knowledge, the things that you know, right? And then being able to create generational wealth for you and your family. So I love that, and I think that is so important. So tell me this: if money was no issue, honey, you had all the money. Somebody looked at this today and they wanted to just gift you some money, and you say, you know, this is what you would do with it, what is it that you would do if money was not an option?
What if money was not an option? There's no doubt about it. I definitely would be motivating people all day, every day, whether it's sitting in front of 1,500, sitting in front of 8,000, sitting in a class of 20. I probably do that more so every day, all day, as a parent, as a teacher, just as a person, to good girlfriends. Um, Maybe a little bit of coaching, but definitely without a shadow of a doubt, just, teaching people how to stay inspired and to just start looking within. A lot of times we look for things external on the outside to inspire us, and there's nothing wrong with that. But one little known fact is that it's already in you. It's already been placed in you. You just have to look inside. One person I definitely have always been inspired by is the late great Dr. Miles Monroe. There's not a day that doesn't go by that I'm not listening to one of his videos. Sometimes I have to stop it and replay, go back. He's definitely that person, was that individual. When he speaks, you need a pen and a notepad, because there's something so mundane and profound that he's going to always say to make me think about. But one of his books, which is my ultimate favorite, the In Pursuit of Purpose, which is really what inspired the whole thing, which started the whole seed of me thinking, why am I here? What's my purpose? But definitely, if money was not a factor, I definitely would be influencing and definitely motivating people, period. Motivating them, and maybe being a thought leader, getting them to think outside the box and just think and look at things different.
That's really good. I love that. So do you attribute that to your growth? Like, do you attribute reading, do you attribute all that kind of things to, like, to your growth?
Absolutely. There are people, again, he is definitely probably the most influential individual that has really, and I mean, really changed the trajectory of my life. And that's where I got the whole, oh, he said in one video, everything that you need is inside of you. It's not outside of you. And he used the metaphor of a watermelon. And he says, well, how do you get a watermelon? You got to have a seed. But where do you find watermelon seeds? You don't go get them at a grocery store. He says, and even if you do find them in a pack at a grocery store, guess where they got it from? It came from inside of the
Mhm.
watermelon. So everything that you're seeking and looking for is not necessarily located in the world. It's located inside of you. But most often, we're not taught to look inside of us. We're taught to go out there and seek the things in the world to find what it is that we're looking for. And so I definitely attribute his thought process, his teachings, to my growth, and just self-reflecting, and just being around good individuals such as yourself and a few others, the Michelle Williams, and just getting around good people who are doing some great things that I aspire to do. Iron sharpens iron.
That's amazing. That's amazing, TaNitra. And so, like, what's the biggest life lesson you've learned so far? Like, life over
Yeah.
time, we learned a lot of lessons, but sometimes it's that big one that just impacted you and
Hmm.
launched you to the next level, or just made you stop and think and turn another direction. And what would that be for you?
I think the biggest life lesson that I've learned was one of them, and there's probably a million of them that I've had. Whatever it is that I'm seeking, again, it's already inside of me. I already have it. The most profound one for me is slow and steady wins the race. I teach fables.
Mhm.
Slow
I
and
got
steady wins the race. And I just stay in my lane, and run my race. I don't have to get sidetracked, distracted, and caught up with, oh, so and so is doing this and doing that. There is no comparison, because your race and my race are two totally different races. Your lane has something that my lane may not consist of, but that's for you and only you. And then whatever is in my lane is strictly customized and custom made for TaNitra. And so I've learned to focus on that and do the work, do my work. I've been called to do my work and no one else's work, and focus on that. And again, I can definitely attribute that to the late, great Dr. Miles Monroe.
love it, love it, love it. So let's talk about motivation for a minute. Like, just life overwhelms us. You have
Yeah.
children, I have children, right? Working and running a business. Like, how do you stay motivated through it all?
You know what? I'll be honest, every day I am not motivated. And people think that just because, oh, well, you naturally motivate people, because I figured out a long time ago that I do have the gift of exhortation. And so
Mhm.
with exhortation, that comes kind of like hand in hand with teaching, but I'm not always motivated. I have to have someone to motivate me at times. And it is overwhelming. I had to learn time management, manage my time, because I was that individual. And sometimes I'm still guilty of trying to, get it all done. And my head is, oh, I'm going to clean up the whole house. I'm going to wipe the baseboards. I'm going to do all of this. And then I'm going to sit down and I'm going to work for an hour. It sounds good up here, but the reality is it does not execute out like that. It doesn't come
Yeah.
out that way. I feel bad. And I feel like, oh my God, I didn't check this off the list, because I'm a lister. I like having a list. A list makes me feel accomplished. It makes me feel productive. But I'm slowly but surely learning that it's okay not to have a list, and it's okay not to have everything done. But I just celebrate the small wins. You know what? I made up my bed today. I'm proud of myself.
Yeah.
You know what? I drank 2 glasses of water. I'm proud of myself. I worked on my projects today for maybe 30 minutes. I'm proud of myself. So instead of overwhelming myself with these unrealistic expectations, because they sound good, they really do. And kudos to anybody that can get it done. But I just learned to celebrate with where I am, and to just make sure that I stay focused and hit the target that I want to hit.
I love that. I love that. I tell everybody all the time to celebrate themselves. Look,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a shameless plug. If y'all haven't been over to my website, honey, theglamcoach.com, y'all see this?
All
I have a
right.
freebie for y'all. Let me tell y'all something. In there, that's the celebration page. That's one of the most important things that people forget to do. We celebrate people all day on social media, right?
Right.
But we forget to celebrate ourselves.
Yes, we do. We do.
Like, sometimes you just have to say, girl, you did that today. You did an amazing
We
job today,
do.
despite the odds, despite who you saw just win that Grammy,
That's
right?
right.
You didn't
And
win the Grammy, but you won. You got it out with your kids today. Okay?
one, the
So
one thing
it's
that
a
I was, yes, but the one thing I was very guilty of, and I realized it was making me tired, was once I complete one thing, I was on to the next. I never took time to stop to smell the roses, and like you say, celebrate the small wins, the small things. It was just like, okay, I wrote a book. What's next? And it's like, well, wait a minute, stop, pause, take a minute. And I think
Mhm.
everything with me, especially, coming from teaching background, education, everything has a sense of urgency. And I'm learning that no, everything does not have to have a sense of urgency. Stop and celebrate that you accomplished this. It's okay. Celebrate, wallow in it, sit in it for a moment and stay in that moment, stay in that feeling before you're off to the next thing. Because then you look up, you've got all these books, these workbooks, you created all these products, these great things, but you never took time to celebrate it. And so I'm actually going back, considering a relaunch of the 187 series when it was written in 2016. I truly, really, really didn't celebrate. It really was on to the next thing for me,
Right.
because here I am checking off that list, the overachiever. I need to do this next. I need to do this next. And it's like, well, when is enough going to be enough? It's okay. Stop and celebrate. Stop and smell the roses.
I love that, y'all. I'm gonna tell you where you find. I tell people when you can't think of anything about celebrating something that you did, social media. If you ever post on social media, you post wonderful times most of the time. Yeah,
Mhm.
we post pray for us and things like that, but we post a lot of our best moments, right?
Right.
And if you don't, I suggest you do. Why? Facebook memories.
Yes.
Facebook memories pop up sometime for me from 8 years ago. It's like, oh wow, did I do that?
Right.
Did I accomplish that? I forgot about that. You
Wow.
get what I'm saying? It
Yes.
could be the little stuff. It's like, nah, I
You're
lost that weight
right.
that time. Look at me there. I lost some weight there. Like I'm saying, in a year. But it's a place where you can house those celebrations.
Yes.
Other people celebrate you. I don't care if 3 people like it, say something, or 200 people say something. It's a
Yes.
reminder. Sometimes I forget about cancer and I rung the bell. That's a celebration, but you get caught up on these other things that you think are so big, and
Right.
you forget big moments that happen in your life that you need to celebrate.
Celebrate.
Like you
That's
said, you
it.
did a book, but you didn't take the time out to launch the book,
They
to
launched
put
the
a
book.
nice graphic to say, hey, celebrate with me. Hey, here's a
Yes.
discount code. Hey, if you think you want to come over and get this thing right and celebrate with me, let's do this. What it can do for you. Some celebrations are not just for you, they're to help other people and launch other people to the next level. And that's, to me, is what like a book,
Right.
workbook does. Somebody celebrating, they doing a show or something, right? And you
Right.
posting those comments, you're not only celebrating them, you're celebrating yourself. You're getting something for you. So you have to remember that some celebrations, even though they're happening for other people, you get the benefits. I've got some benefits from
Yes.
celebrating other people. I've been at some events, some parties, showed up, bought some books. It turned my life around from their
Wow.
celebrations. So
Yes.
you have to remember to celebrate. I love that. So how do you stay balanced in it all? I mean, I'm gonna go ahead. Like what I know about you is that you're a praying woman, that you have 2 kids that graduated a year apart, a business. You have what, 1 or 2 master's degrees. You
Yes.
have a book out. You working on some more, some workbooks, things like that, planners. You launching a
Yes.
website. Like, how do you stay balanced in the midst of all of this stuff?
You know what? Quiet time,
I love
self-care.
it.
And I realize that self-care looks totally different. For the next person, some people like to shop, some people like to sit down, maybe have a glass of juice. For me, sometimes it is just sitting and being still and being quiet. I've learned to do deep breathing, to just take a breath, and it really just centers me. It really calms me down before I, maybe get flip at the mouth in a particular situation. If I'm in a situation, it helps me not to react. I learn how to respond instead. So there's some benefits to just having a quiet moment. Some days I wake up and I just don't feel like talking. I'm just quiet. I'm quiet, and I just get that inkling that today is a quiet day, or what I
Mhm.
would say sometimes putting myself in timeout. That might means I might not take calls for the next hour unless it's family oriented, and it's just setting boundaries and just doing things that I need to do for TaNitra, because as you say, entrepreneurs, you are a mom. We show up for everybody else. And then, as you stated earlier, we kind of forget to show up for ourselves. And then you find yourself pouring from an empty cup. And I can't afford that. I don't want to do that. So for me, it's just sitting still. Sometimes I may write, but definitely sometimes it's just being quiet, just being quiet. And sometimes I get in my car, I don't even turn the radio on because I don't want to hear any noise.
Tell us about like a difficult time in your life, like a very difficult time in your life. You made it through, because I learned that when people see people and they see us shine, it's like
Mhm.
their life has always been great. And it's not so, because we've all had difficult times in our life that we've had to come through to get to
Mhm.
this place. And tell me about one. Tell us
I
about
think I would say difficult, challenging is sometimes, just being a single mom, you're wearing literally so many hats. You're the one who's dispensing all of the information. You're the one who's putting out fires and solving all the problems. And that's just difficult sometimes where you feel burnt out, worn out, on top of being an educator. This is actually coming into year 24 for me. And it's just, okay, people at work need me, kids at work need me, kids here
one.
need me. So uh, this past year was challenging because not only did I have one kid already in college, I have one getting ready to go off to college.
Mm-hmm.
And so that became challenging financially because also, with a business, you're buying things for your business, you're investing, you're buying office supplies. So this year was very tough, really tough, and just tough for me with adjusting to new chapters in my life, going from having both of my children, my daughters here, to now, well, you're about to be an empty nester. So
Mm-hmm.
just adjusting to all these life events and feeling burnout, and ready to move on and ready to create all these great projects. So I just had to really take a sabbatical moment for myself and just not do anything, sit still, constant prayer, meditation, and just honestly wait for God to let me know what it is that I am to do next, because there were so many distractions, so much noise outside the world, people telling you, oh, you need to do this. So that's when I learned, I just need to close my mouth, go into prayer, and wait
Mm-hmm.
for further instructions. So this year was the year of uncertainty. I didn't know where things may land, especially with being a part of a school district where, it's no secret the state took over. So now you're wondering about what does your future look like with this school district? Where you going to go? What are you going to do? Also, for me, this year was tough because it meant change. There were a lot of changes
Mm-hmm.
taking place all at the same time, personally and professionally, and it was overwhelming.
Yes. No, I understand what you're saying. So, if you could share one piece of advice with our audience that could help somebody out, what would it be?
I think the most profound piece of advice that I could give anyone is to meditate on the scripture. One of my favorite scriptures, Proverbs 18 and 16. And you said it earlier, your gifts and your talents will make room for you. It's so easy to get on social media and look at what someone else is doing. Maybe they are where you aspire to be. It's so
Mm-hmm.
easy to get out here in the world and become a part of this and be a part of that. And you have to get quiet and you have to turn inward, go inside, reflect, look inside yourself, because the same gifts that I possess, you have your own set of gifts that God has given you. And really, that's all you need to do. So instead of chasing the bag, I highly advise anyone chase your purpose. But in order to
Mm-hmm.
chase your purpose, you have to know what your gifts and talents are. Because in the end, when you chase your purpose, there's no need of chasing the bag. The bag will find you if you're doing what you have been called to do. That is the work that you have been born to do. That's the work that you are designed to do. Even though we have 9 to 5 jobs, I truly know that this is the work that I need to be doing. My gift is to go out and motivate and do the gift of exhortation and push people into action so that they can transform their lives. And that's what I'm dedicated to. I'm just blessed to be able to do it in an educational setting on the platform. But I also know He's provided me with instructions to move forward. And now it's time to do it. Do your own thing. I've done it, and I think I'm ready to do my own thing. So for everybody out there, Find someone that can help you identify your gifts and your talents. That's where your bag is, because he already said your gifts will make room for you in this world and put you before great men. So he is the only one who can and will exalt you, not your homeboy, not your homegirl. They may be able to do only so much, but God definitely is the one who can open that door, and it will never shut unless he authorizes them to do so.
I love that. And I also want to add that I always say I have favor with God and man. That scripture changed my life because we can have favor with a lot of people, but having favor with God and man is two different things. So,
Absolutely.
TaNitra, tell us how, I'm going to spotlight you in just a minute, how people can get in touch with you, reach you, and what you have to offer them.
Oh, you can reach me on Facebook as TL Robinson Ed Consulting. Former page, it was formerly facebook.com/187 school. I am also on LinkedIn as TaNitra Robinson. And you can just simply reach me by email. Real easy, TaNitra Robinson at hotmail.com.
So, y'all see it on here, TaNitra. You see how it's spelled? It's right here in front of us at hotmail.com. She has an amazing book. Y'all, it'll change your life, the life of your kids. I want y'all to go over and I want you to check it out. TaNitra, you told me about something else you had. So you told me about a podcast or something. Talk
uh,
about. That's
you
what they
know
want to
what?
hear about. Talk about.
This podcast was inspired because, it's no secret now. I'm probably 18 years divorced, two daughters, ages 18 and 19. I have a close friend of mine. And we kind of went through the same things. And, as single moms, and not just single moms, single dads too. When you're a co-parenting, that is probably a challenging, it's a difficult task, especially if the other party is not playing fair. I'll put it like that. If they're not playing fair, if they're not being who you need them to be so that you can effectively co-parent. And so it is something that we have been working on, entitled Co-Parenting with a Food. We have not released any other shows because we actually go into the studio and record maybe anywhere from 2 to 4 shows a month. So we have a great, amazing production team who has gotten behind the two of us and just really been motivating us to go forward with this idea. It's not a bashing podcast. We don't get on there and bash men or women, but we do come on and share our experience. We invite people to come on, share their experiences, and to just really make it more cohesive. Even though if the two parties are no longer together, you can still co-parent in a nice, effective way, because in the end, it is about the kids or the kid. It's about them. So we want to have effective and good co-parenting. It doesn't always have to be the parents are at each other's throats, even though they're no longer together in a relationship. So looking forward to dropping the episodes this coming fall. We're excited and really hope that we can inspire and, help people better co-parent.
So what they say, what if somebody wants to be a can like do you call the people or can people get in touch with you and say, hey, I'm coach parenting with food. I need to be on this show because I got
They
some
absolutely can. All they have to do is reach out. We have yet to put it out on social media. It's kind of like we've been inboxing people and sending it that way because, we're not ready to put it out there yet for the grand public. But anybody who definitely has a story or an experience that they would like to share, because we do realize co-parenting with a fool is not just a man, it is women also
Come on.
who act like fools. That's just the reality of it. Amen. That's the reality. And so anybody who wants to share their experience, and your experience may actually help someone because maybe they don't know what to do in that situation. So we just hope that it's nonetheless a blessing to people. And again, we're not bashing, we're blessing.
All right. All right. Thank you, TaNitra. I loved having you on the show today. You are totally amazing.
Thank you, Queen.
Amazing. So, everybody, that's our show for today. I want to thank y'all for joining in. Don't forget, I am your girl. I'm Sonjia Pelton-Sam, guys, the glam coach. If you guys want to reach me and you say, hey, glam coach, I need a coach in my life for my business. I want to go to the next level. I'm your girl. I'm a digital creator. I create digital products that sell and make y'all some, right? That's right. Digital products that sell and make you some coins in your pocket, honey.
Yes.
So if that's you, and you say, Glam Coach, I want to go to the next level. I want y'all to go ahead and get in contact with me. Down at the bottom, you can see that. You can text Vision to that number. You can just take it, pause this, text Vision to that number. I will get right back with you for a free 15-minute consultation. What I say, free 15-minute consultation to see how I can grow you and come up with something. Also, publishing is also available in business coaching. So I'm your girl to launch you to the next level. Also, theglamcoach.com. If you look at the bottom, go to theglamcoach.com. Get your freebie, y'all. I have a freebie that's going to change your life. Y'all got to go over and get it. It's going to come with a Facebook group. It is amazing. My little black planner planning party. We are actually going to have a party at the end of next month, August, the end of August. Y'all want to join in now, join into the group, ask questions, socialize. Go ahead and talk about your business and have some fun. So I hope you guys really enjoyed the show today. I enjoy having you as always. May God bless you in every endeavor that you do. And this is the end of the show. I'm getting ready to put y'all on, and thanks for watching.